I know that you had mentioned talking to some people who had shared some strange experiences they had had in Palo Duro Canyon. They had heard something that sounded like drums and strange noises like that in what's normally areas where people don't go. And you said also that you had had some strange experiences down there.
I did, and I had gone to Palo Duro Canyon to do a little bit of hiking, and I play Native American flutes, and I took my flutes with me. One in particular that I like, I had it by itself and hiked back in towards the very back part of the canyon where the public roads are, and where they have the sign of the Comanche battleground. And I actually went back a little further, followed the river on back, probably about a mile, and was carrying my flute with me, and I found a little spot where there was a large rock right next to the river to set on, and to that one side of the river where the rock was also was a pretty good sized cliff, and I sat down on the rock to play my flute, and I played for a little bit, and there was a slight breeze, wasn't windy or anything like that, but I played for a little bit, and I kind of heard a low, like a growl or grunt, and I didn't pay much attention to it. I stopped playing, kind of looked around a little bit, and I started playing again, and then I heard a very loud grunt that was real low, and it sounded like, to me, it sounded almost like it said, "Leave," except it was a lot louder and a whole lot lower than what I can do with my voice. So I stopped and looked around a little bit, and I thought, well, it wasn't a deer grunt because I've heard a deer grunt before. And anyway, I played a little more, and it did it again, and it was actually so loud that I could feel the rock vibrate underneath me. And once again, it sounded like it was telling me to leave. And I know back in that part of the canyon, I've been back there several times. And the history of the Comanche battles with the cavalry back there always say that there weren't any Indians killed, but they did kill a bunch of horses. I don't know if that's true or not. So anyway, I've been back in that area before, and back into the actual battleground area, which was across on the other side of the river. And the place has always had kind of an eerie feeling to it. I've always taken my flutes and played back there. I've never got any response other than coyotes before. But this one definitely sounded like something different than what I've ever heard before. I talked to a Lakota friend of mine, and he told me that he thought it was probably the spirits in the canyon. I don't really know. I've had different opinions on it. But anyway, I packed up my flute and left like I was told to.
About when was this?
It was in the springtime, probably around in March, and it was towards the evening, I would say 4 o'clock or so, because it starts getting dark pretty quick up there, and I wanted to get out of there before it got dark anyway.
About what year was this, do you think?
Oh, I would say probably 2004.
Okay. If anybody else had a situation like that, that would happen to anybody else like that, what would you tell them?
I'm not sure what I'd tell them. If you could understand a word from it, I would say, yeah, it could be the spirits of the canyon. I was told by one of the park rangers that it might have been a mountain lion, because there had been at least 2 mountain lions, if not 3, sighted within the park boundaries. But to me, it really didn't sound like I would think a mountain lion would sound. I've never actually heard one that I know of in person. But also, I don't think a mountain lion would sound like it was saying leave.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.